audited revenue. It means that if the National Assembly is on 2021, then you are getting a share of 2021, which is unconstitutional. So why should the County Assembly get a share of 2024-2025 when they have not gone through the revenue statements of 2022-2023? It sounds a complex proposal, but we can reduce it to a formula so that when a county assembly is not doing their job, there is a percentage that they are not getting. And when a county assembly is up to date, then they get their full allocation. That's a conversation for us as a Senate. Now, members, should we proceed now that the assembly has not done what we had expected them to do? Ideally, if you had a report, it would have been easy. You would have submitted and tabled your report, would have gone through the recommendations and agreed with you, and would have waited for the next audit cycle to confirm closure. Senator Dulo, you had gone on record earlier?
No. Dulo, Senator Julius.
Okay. So, unless there is any other observation, we may proceed. Yeah, so honorable members of County Assembly, please take note of our recommendations, and that can be a starting point. For example, when you go to the report of the Auditor General, the first issue on inaccuracies in cash and cash equivalence balance, Auditor General, you had reported that that had been cleared because it does not form part of the responses that we have. Was it our position when reported to the House that issue number 1 had been resolved?
Yes, Chair.
Issue number 1 had been resolved.
Yes.
Now, you see, the risk is the County Assembly might go back to interrogate the same matter when the Senate has already marked it as resolved. So that's why we are asking that we synergize, pick our recommendations. You don't need to be bound by it because we are independent houses, but our recommendations can be a guide. So so there was no recommendation on issue number 1. There was a recommendation on issue number 2 on unconfirmed revenue. What we shall do is the Auditor General will quickly raise your observation. The clerk will tell us what we had recommended. Then the governor will tell us the action that has been taken. This is a significant matter involving 3.1 billion. And I think that as the Auditor General proceeds, how much money was spent by Kitui this financial year? 13 billion. Was it 13 or 14? 13 billion. I think it was 13 billion. That's what is the statement of receipts. So quite a lot of money. But Senator Wambua tells us it's still not enough, considering the needs of the people.
We need a lot more.
We will support you to, to get much more. Fine. Unconfirmed revenue.
Thank you, Chair. Do I read the paragraph?
Yeah, read the paragraph, then the clerk will read what we recommended, then the governor will confirm that he has done what we have recommended.
Chair, we need to be guided which document we are looking at so that
we are looking at the report of actually what we should be guided by, clerk, which one? I wish members had the report of the Auditor General, the summary report of the Auditor General, which has the observation, the recommendation of the Senate, the response of management, and the observation, the final evaluation of the OAG. So maybe I said issue number 2, that was misleading. It's issue number 1 on this. Unconfirmed revenue.
But I think there is no column for the Auditor General.
Yeah, get Senator Dulo the right one, the one with the audit evaluation column. Oh, she has the other copy. Yeah, OAG, please.
Thank you, Chair. This is the report of the Auditor General on Kitui County Executive for the financial year 2023-2024. The first issue is unconfirmed revenue, and it states the statement of receipts and payments, and as disclosed in Note 2 to the financial statements, reflect miscellaneous receipts amounting to 3,111,155,760. However, review of revenue records revealed that receipts totaling to 3,980,755 were recorded in the cash book but did not reflect in the bank statements or the bank reconciliation statements as at 30th June 2024. Further, the cash analysis indicated that revenues unbanked by revenue officers amounted to 3,794,256. In addition, review of the county's electronic revenue collection system records for land rates, life forms, revealed that management did not collect outstanding property rates totaling to Kenya shillings 1,098,129,827 owed to the county. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of miscellaneous receipts amounting to Kenya shillings 3,111,155,760 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, what was our recommendation? And I must put a caveat here that Kitui did not appear before this committee. We relied on written responses. So we might have to reinterrogate some of our recommendations because, you know, we didn't have that opportunity to do a cross-examination on your responses. And you'll observe, honorable members, that I think some of these recommendations are quite generic, not very specific to the amounts that are there. So you are free to ask specific questions because this is a case where 3.9 million is in the cash book but is not in the bank statement. 3.7 million collected but not banked. On the face of it is theft. And I think this is one of those recommendations that perhaps
3,784,256 being the amount held by the collectors as at 30th June 2024. And B is Kenya shilling 186,489, which related to revenue collected on 30th June 2024 and banked on July 1st, 2024. Bullet 2 is a recovery of the unbanked revenue is ongoing, and by end of the February 2025, a total of 1.5 or 1,578,550 had been recovered, leaving a balance of 2,215,706. The new Human Resource Information System, HRS, which replaced the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Database, was unable to attach recoveries since February 2025, resulting into delay in recovery to date. The Director, Human Resources, has raised the matter with the State Department of Public Service, which is in charge of the HRIS, to address the matter. Still on the management status report, to eliminate cash handling, the county has transitioned to automated revenue collection methods, including the use of pay bill number 522522 and M-Pesa push notifications. To address the issue of accrued land and property rates, the county government advertised on 15th May 2025 on the county website and the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority for Procurement of Land Information Management System, LIMS, to address the issue of land rates and plot identification. The bid was evaluated in June 2025 and the winning bidder was selected. The contract is yet to be signed. The data mapping, which will be incorporated in the LIMS to improve property rates management, this mapping is expected to ease the identification of rates defaulters as well as other revenue streams tracking. The attached are the evidences, which we have the bank statement showing the banking of 186,499, the recovery schedule, recovery to January 2025, 2 samples of pay slips for staff under recovery, 3 the State Department of Public Service Help Desk, Kitui County, request for system features enhanced, and we have the extract.
Auditor General?
Thank you, Chair. We were able to look at the evidence, and we did confirm that the recoveries totaling 1,578,550 has been done. And we also looked at the bank statement, and we confirmed that Kenya shillings 186,499 was actually banked in July 2025. For the life on system, we shall be able to keep it in view and confirm in our next audit.
Now, you queried 3.794256 million, or the county is saying out of the 3.98 million, 3.79 was held by the collectors as at 30th of June 2024, and 186 was revenue collected on 30th June. You have said you have seen evidence of the 186,499.
1.5.
No, you've said there's a statement you've seen where the 186.
Yes.
186
sorry,
has been captured.
186 that was banked in July.
What about the 3.794 million?
The 3.7, it has not been fully recovered. It's only a portion that has been recovered, the 1.5.
This so this 3.794 is the second point, yes. The cash analysis.
Yes. The 3.7, when you add it to 1.8, you get the 3.9.
Okay.
Which was our issue.
So 186 has been reflected in the statement.
Yes.
Out of 3.7, only 1.5 has been recovered.
Yes.
But 2.2 is a balance.
Yes.
This is money that was collected from Mama Mboga.
Yes.
It was collected from poor women in the market, from boda operators,
yeah.
From hustlers.
Yes.
And it is sitting in the pockets of some people.
Who are these people?
Isn't that the implication? That 2.2 million, actually 3.794 million, was collected by Kitui from the poor of the poorest and found their way into people's pockets. And what the governor has done is to recover 1.5 million, leaving 2.2 million in people's pockets. And it's just okay. It's just fine. This is theft.
Chair, who are these people?
Governor, wasn't this money collected? We are talking money that was already collected.
Let's put this matter in context. This happened in 2019. I wasn't governed then.
Well,
but when I came, I found the problem.
Was the money collected from the poor of Kitui?
That's true.
The money was in people's pockets.
Yeah, which should not have happened.
And all you have done is recovery, partial recovery, no administrative action, no criminal action initiated against these thieves.
Chairman, there are two things which is happening. Recovery of the money from their salaries, and some of the evidence which has been attached here indicates that, and disciplinary action. You know, our Constitution, Article 47 to be specific, refers to fair administrative action. So you must go through due process. And the normal thing is you give a warning and you recommend this to go to...
Just maybe, Governor, is that what you've done or what should be done?
No, that's what has been done.
Where is the evidence? And please remember, fair administrative action must also be read alongside the PFM Act, which criminalizes this kind of action. Collecting revenue and not banking is outright theft. And it's been defined as an offense under the PFM Act and regulations. Senior Counsel.
Chair, you know, when in simple language, Governor, when a member of staff, these are the employees who you have attached a schedule of their names here. Okay? They collect revenue and keep it. Not even keep it. I think they collect revenue and eat it because you are recovering from their salary. And you are telling this committee that this guy should continue being in office. And Chair, we link it to what the President was saying yesterday, that members of this committee get compromised. You know, we are doing this matter, and I can see the representative of EACC. He's there.
Governor can answer all.
Sure.
Which are these circumstances that allow revenue to be collected in cash? Because basically, you are supposed to digitize revenue collection. Why should revenue be collected in cash and taken to somebody's home?
It's a good question. Senator.
Thank you, Chair. You know, Chair, the governor must be very much aware that you cannot correct money and spend at the source. Right? The evidence before her here is that there is some deductions taking place. Away from these deductions, is there any other administrative action that you are taking to
look at the county executive report and the receiver of revenue report, and our initial submission was with 2 reports, and that evidence is there. But of course,
No, Governor, the evidence must follow the question. The question is in the report of the executive.
in the original, you know, what we are looking at is the compressed report which Senate prepared with the tables, where we have a number of headings like the audit query.
No, please be guided. Next time you appear before this committee, if there's an issue that's outstanding, come with all the records and documentation supporting it.
Okay.
Chair, the governor is giving us intentions. Maybe he's intending to do that when he goes back. Because there is no evidence to that effect.
No,
I'm
just saying there is a report which was submitted to the Senate. The Senate never invited us to discuss with them then. They opted to sit in committee and generate a report which we are supposed to implement, and today we are supposed to report where we are. So some of that evidence, we have not carried it. It is in a report which was submitted to Senate on the receiver of revenue, which we had prepared separately. But when the Senate was looking at these things, they combined everything in the one report. So when we are responding now, not there, but
take guidance from the Senate.
Yeah.
Take guidance from the Senate, because
Okay.
I think you're explaining your understanding. The expectation of the Senate is that if there's a figure that has been queried and has not been supported, notwithstanding the broad recommendations that we have made, we shall still go back to that amount. You see, our recommendations does not deal with the theft. The question is, 2.2 million has been stolen from the people of Kitui. Your approach is to recover it as impressed. Why impressed? Why impressed? And even if it was
as the law demands. But from our perspective, we are not treating them with the kid gloves.
no, you are. Actually, you have used the right word.
We would have used
You have used the right word.
Chairman,
Chair, what you need to know.
Chairman, you know, you have just drawn our attention to our standing orders that everything we deal with must be on record. And Governor, I know you very well, so I'm just pushing my case on public interest approach. In your management response, you have not mentioned even one line where you are telling this committee that you are taking disciplinary action against the people involved. Chairman, if you read from bullet 1 all the way to the second page, there is nowhere where you have mentioned that you are taking disciplinary
and that was
action.
my concern.
The second issue, there is nowhere you have made any mention that this matter has been reported to the EACC or to DCI for criminal sanctions to follow. If you have looked at your management response.
Process of disciplining them using the due process, because if you cut corners or if you move very fast, they will rush to court sometimes. And although on the face of it, they are the ones in the wrong, you may find the courts may not agree with you. So that's the reason why we want to follow due process. But eventually we'll get there.
There was a question that Senator Marum had asked, which you have not responded to, which can help us.
Yeah, the circumstances which lead you to collect cash, that is number one. Why haven't you digitalized your revenue collection? Number two, where
to Maurice Thomas. Now, if all of us are there, then it would appear like we are dealing with a systemic problem in the county government of Kitui, and not necessarily a problem that was only found in the previous administration. Why do I say this, Chair? If you look at that letter addressed to Maurice Thomas, this is one who has failed to surrender 665,444 shillings. That, and then the only time that we realize you have not been banking is 2024. So, what does it mean? That you are on your own, collect, you bank, you don't bank, but one day we will check what's happening?
Actually, Governor, we were together at the Devolution Conference, and one of the presentations by your colleagues was the Muranga system, where Governor Kangata showed us, he could tell us at the hospitals, this is the amount I've collected today, diagnosis, you know, that kind of dashboard and visibility, which ties to the question raised by Senator Marum. I mean, to what extent, what are the efficiencies? What's the automation? What's the visualization? Do you have it? Today, Governor Malombe, if you wanted to know how much was collected from your hospitals on a dashboard somewhere, or you have to call your revenue collectors to make a report.
Allow me, Chair, I ask the Minister to respond to that. He was also in Malombe.
Okay, I hope he was working, not just eating fish.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, we do not have a visible dashboard right now because we have automated independent streams. Now, we in the process of purchasing a revenue system, which is going to integrate all our 72 streams of revenue. So even as we talking about the automation, yes, they are there, but we don't have a visible dashboard.
You've never had a system from 2013, the second governor to date. There's never been an automated system for revenue collection in Kitui.
It has been there, but it's
M-Pesa Pay Bill is not an automated system.
Yeah, we have a revenue system, Chair, but it is not integrated with the individual streams, and that is what we are working on right now.
So, OAG, we have said this before. When you're doing your ROR statement, I think you need an assessment of the system's environment. It was not in this report at all. So we have no visibility on the kind of systems they're using, and I think that should come under controls. Patrick, I hope that message has gone out to the auditors.
It has been marked with them, Chair, and it has formed part of our subject matters in this current year's audit.
Yeah, because without that visibility and dashboard, so Governor, you have pointed us to the ROR report. Could you tell us why in that financial year your hospital fees dropped by 10 million? One would have expected that greater efficiencies, tightening controls, and the trend generally across counties is that the hospital fees keep growing. Why was there a drop from 274 million to 264 million? Is this symptomatic of the systemic issues where people are collecting and pocketing?
Chair, let me not respond directly. I have a CEO here from Ministry of Health, and that's the reason why I brought them. I want them to also respond to the issues. Can the CEO in charge of medical please?
Yeah, and this is why it's important that you have a dashboard as a CEO, because those CEOs will run circles around you. Did you know that your hospital collections reduced by 10 million that financial year?
I must be honest, I did not know that, but I know the collection from our hospitals has gone up
Now,
substantially.
here it went down by 10 million. What would be the
but
explanation?
let's hear from the CEO from L.
And all this is in your receiver revenue statements. We are not making up figures.
Yeah. Are you able to do that, or we ask CEO of Finance?
I can do that, eh?
Yeah, okay.
You know the right person to answer this is the receiver of revenue.
There is a,
That is the owner of this report. Who's the receiver of revenue? Yes, receiver of revenue. Why was there a 10 million drop in hospital fees? The governor believes that the collections have gone up, but it dropped by 10 million.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. The reason why it dropped is because the revenue is recorded on cash basis. At this time, the NHIF had not paid the services we had offered. So the problem was that. And this financial year, they paid some amount before it went to share. So the problem was the NHIF.
How much was the NHIF rebate?
121.
121
million.
So your own source revenue is understated by 121 million.
No, that is what was the accumulative. The money they had not paid, but before the end of the financial year, they had paid some amount. I think 84 million. So they around 10 million, which was pending the payment.
But YG, that ought to have been an audit query. That was revenue due that was not reflected.
No, this cash basis. The revenue is accounted on cash basis, not on accrual. Yeah.
Was the money due in that financial year?
It was. It was.
Remember, the next limp is the 1 billion in form of revenue arrears, which you are coming to. So, Auditor General, does that explain why there was a 10 million drop in hospital fees? Because without records, we will take it as speculation.
Chair, I think I'll have to look at it critically so that I give an information.
Please examine it, because we are not going to take the oral submission of your chief officer. He's not on oath. But we suspect that there's a systemic problem. There's theft of on-source revenue or collections in Kitui County. And Governor, you must make it a priority to automate and have a proper dashboard. You sitting as CEO, you should be able to tell what is flowing into the county coffers. Senator Mbor?
Chair, maybe just a recommendation to the governor as well, as you have said. I know the governor, you get the feeling, because I do, that in terms of on-source revenue, the county government of Kitui could perhaps be doing a lot better. But it seems there's a lot of wastage. There's a lot of money collected on behalf of the county, but not getting to the county accounts. Automation will be one thing, which is urgent, but I also think the right message sent to the revenue officers would also help the county. And this, what we have here on record, is not the right message. The message that we are sending to the revenue officers here is, guys, you can go collect money. You know the law says you should remit. If you don't remit and we catch up with you 2 years later, we shall surcharge you for infinity. Because now you see people are getting zero salary. And I also don't know, Governor, how do you actually, and I need to ask that, how do you then even balance that surcharging with the provisions of Section 19(3) of the Employment Act on the third salary rule? You see, by your own action, this is a member of staff who is getting zero. Yeah? Because you have decided to surcharge and recover your money. But the law says they cannot earn less than a third of of their gross. So I don't know how you balance that. Perhaps we could hear from the governor. Thank you.
Okay, quick response, Governor. We need to move on. Yes?
Governor, sorry, Chair, we are advised on having an integrated financial system where at the touch of a button you can see what each stream is bringing in per day. But if somebody is determined to steal, they may not post that. So if you are governor, either Kangata or Malombe sitting somewhere, what you will be seeing in the dashboard is just what has been posted there, not necessarily what has been collected. So what we need to do, in my view, is deal with these issues of integrity. When we track and find something is being done the wrong way, we take swift action, and I'm advised. Maybe here it has taken longer than it should, and it's sending the wrong message, and we need to do something about it. But maybe there is a question which my senator had asked earlier about what we are doing to make sure money is not just collected and is not banked. Maybe we need to hear that from the chief officer, because I don't think as of now or of late that's happening. What happened in 2019 or 2021, in the case of Morris. There are systems which have been put in place to ensure whatever is collected is remitted. Maybe Chief Officer, just on that, what we are doing.
No, Governor, the evidence before us makes that request not necessary, because the surrender notice to Maurice Thomas indicates that unbanked revenue of 665 million has been accumulating from 2021 to 2024. 2021 to 2024 means that it is still a problem. So it is the Auditor General who's going to give us that assurance. Now, very quickly to the next link of the question. Who owes you 1 billion? Do you have a schedule?
Yeah, the people who hold that 1 billion are rate payers.
Do you have that schedule?
Yeah, and that schedule is available. Do we have the schedule attached, or the people is there in the receiver of revenue report?
Yeah, because we are dealing, in these questions, we are dealing with all the issues raised in the receiver of revenue. I think at the end of this, will have been done with the ROR report.
Yeah.
Do you have visibility on those who owe you 1.098 billion?
Yeah, just let me, my chief officer respond.
So what is the challenge in collecting?
The challenge is there is so much duplication after the de facto local authorities when they were brought together as one entity as a county. There is a lot of duplication of plots. And the other thing is the identification of those plots. You could not identify whose. One plot could have 5 or 3 owners.
But you went through the County Assets and Liability Verification Committee, and a report was prepared and sent to IBEC. Are you doing a fresh audit, Governor? In the last term, perhaps you are not in office then, but I sat in this chair going through the reports of County Assets and Liability Verification Committees, which was conclusive. Why would you say that there is still confusion?
Let me hear from the Chief Officer again about that.
Chief Officer, why are you introducing confusion in a very clear manner?
Chair, can I read the management response?
It is 4:30, and I want you to respond directly to the questions. Did Kitui submit an Assets and Liability Verification Committee report?
Yes, Chair.
And it was a very comprehensive exercise. There was a gazette notice. The teams at county level included national government, county government, valuers, surveyors. It was a very, very comprehensive exercise. What is it that you're doing afresh, having gone through that painful exercise?
Chair, I think the matter regarding the plots and the lands which are owned by the 4 de facto municipalities and county councils and town council, there was the amount was not really 1 billion. That amount has also an arrears interest on the.
CEO, you are talking about duplication in land.
Yes.
Do you agree that you have an assets and liabilities report that has been, in fact, I think it was taken through the county assemblies. It was taken through county assemblies before it went to IBEC. Was there anyone who was in the last assembly in this delegation?
Chair, yes, Chair, I was in the last assembly.
You were in the assembly?
Yes.
In what role?
I was the majority leader.
Did you move a motion for adoption of the county assets and liability verification?
Not in Kitui County Assembly. And Chair, we agree that the report went to IBEC, but it was returned to the Department of ITRGC, and it has never been available to us for the conclusion, Chair, you are asking us.
So what's your recommendation, Governor? Because we can't be using public resources on an endless exercise.
Yeah, we constituted a data and information collection team to collect accurately the data relating to plots in our urban areas. And we are the tail end of really finalizing that particular report, and we think that will help us a lot in this process. But if there is such a report and you hear the then majority leader never saw it, I don't know whether our current MCAs ever saw one or anyone. We will look for it. And
would it be fair to tell Senator Wambua that next time he's lobbying us for Kitui to get more money, we shouldn't, because you've got 1 billion low-hanging fruit somewhere, which you can access?
Rates, payment of rates, even when you give waivers, you collect, and we have seen many counties, Kiambu, Mombasa, many others, and even ourselves, you give some waivers.
The waiver is on interest, not on principle.
Yeah, it's on interest, it's not on principle. So when you come in and the accumulation is huge, you'll be really hoping for the best if you expect to collect
what is
a
the
huge
list
amount
of the defaulters?
And
how much out of these 1.089 million, a billion, constitutes the principal, and how much constitutes the interest? Is it possible to know that?
Yeah, the chief officer can respond to that. Or do you have the chief officer for Urban? Did he come? Or chief officer finance, do you have that information? If we don't have, we just admit we put it together. But I know it's there.
Chief officer?
I think we have the evaluation run, which was to showing the plots which they have not been paid. And the chair, what I've said is about the duplication. The system which is used during the de facto local authorities, it was that system that was left in the bindle. It was not fully developed. So the plots were kept being posted, and you will find that as small area like 1 acre, you find like over 20 plots. So the plots who are the people who are posting and who are capturing the data for the plots.
Do you therefore dispute the 1 billion?
Yeah, because one thing, for example, Chair, you'll see that we have shown the counts of plots which are the amounts which are duplicated, about that 62 million of the plots which are duplicated.
So in your assessment, what is the outstanding arrears? What is the uncollected arrears? Because we need to deal with a precise figure. This is numbers, this is not politics.
Sure, it will be less than 50% of this because we are implementing the LIMS, the lands information
Auditor
management
General,
system.
isn't it a requirement for them to declare in their financial statements, maybe as a note, some of these arrears under the current reporting standard?
Yes, Chair. They're actually going on accrual, and it will be very important for them to declare. And just to confirm what he's saying, I actually saw what they provided, and there was quite a number of duplication. And my advice was they go and clean up that data. Thank you.
Yes, Central West.
So there is an admission that there is a duplication, and perhaps the figures that we are seeing are not the right figures. At what point, my brother Bwana CEO, at what point do you think you will start cleaning up, or who is supposed to clean up?
I've started cleaning up because we are procuring the lands information management system. Now we are reposting one by one.
You see, yes. I think that for me, Chair, I think then that would be the wrong approach or maybe response, because a system is just a system. You feed a system. Garbage in, garbage out. It's what you feed it. It's not like because you automate, then it just comes in and it clears everything for you. It's what you feed into it. So even when the system comes, it has to be fed with the right data. So before you feed the system, you must have cleaned up your data. So you cannot say that you are in the process of cleaning up because you are procuring a digital system. A digital system must come and find clean data, feed clean data to it, get clean results.
That's correct. Now, we must make progress. On this outstanding arrears, OAG, we agree, keep this in view. I don't know whether you have concluded, you have done your exit.
Chair, we are yet to do the final audit.
You are yet to do the final audit.
Yes.
So please make sure that this is a subject of the audit. They must provide the necessary documentation and reconciliation. But on the matter of the 2.2 million that was collected and not banked, I think we'll give very adverse recommendations. The PFM has given that power. It is a receiver of revenue to manage the collectors of revenue. And where there's a failure in collection and banking of revenue, the person who takes ultimate responsibility is the receiver of revenue. And we are going to make very adverse recommendations on the receiver of revenue, because whereas it is 2.2 million, we have already demonstrated that that is money collected from 100,000 boda bodas or 35,000 dengu sellers. It might be small to the ruling class because you're used to big amounts of money, but it's significant to the people at the bottom of the pyramid. And this is a matter that perhaps we'll try to find out from EACC how to ensure that those who collected the money and did not remit, action is taken against them. These cannot be handled like imprest. This is not imprest. And you have not answered the question why you are handling this as imprest. Because all the documents you have tendered, the header is imprest recovery. This is not imprest. So EACC, this is work for us to do. When it comes to automation, the CEO, you have a responsibility to drive the vision of the organization. So we will also make certain observations, but we would advise that push and get people who understand that space. As you said, the dashboard shows what has been fed in, but it does not have to be fed in manually. If the touch point is electronic, then there is no manual intervention in between. You must whip your receiver of revenue to make sure that Kitui is doing the right things. And then on hospital fees, OAG, please also give us an assurance on why there was that drop of 10 million, because I still I don't buy what the chief officer is explaining. Those were the various issues that were raised in the receiver of revenue report. I think we have done cross-referencing. Whatever was remaining on ROR, failure to bank revenue collected, we have dealt with that. Then there was the issue of unsupported revenue from parking fees. Auditor, was that still outstanding, the unsupported revenue?
Yes, Chair, it was.
And it still is outstanding?
Yes, Chair.
Was there a response to that? What was the concern? Was it underdeclared, or they collected 17 but there was no schedule to support the 17?
The support is what was missing.
This is straightforward, Governor. Can you confirm that you've got a schedule supporting the 17 million? This one, it's either there or it's not there.
Chief Officer, there is a table.
Is there a supporting schedule for the 17 million?
Yes, Chair.
Where is it?
You'll see it's an attachment of, we have attachment number 1, 2, 3.
That's
5,
each annexure.
6. Yes.
Is it in the ROR bundle?
2 ROR. Oh no, ROR.
So you have annexures labeled 1.1,
Yes.
2.1, 2.2. Which one is it?
Chair, it's number 2, on number 2, divider number 2. Then after the response, you'll see an attachment with the 1 page, Minutes of Lands, Housing, Urban Development, report on marking of parking slots and within the Kitui CBD.
So where is that particular schedule? I believe it's a table that
Yes.
that adds up to 17.1 million.
No, the question, Chair, if I may read the...
We have the question.
Yes.
The supporting schedule showing the details of parking spaces
Annex
which
6.
formed the revenue generation were not provided for audit review. So just give us the supporting schedule showing the details of parking spaces.
It's number, Chair, you see there is a memo, like a memo, Ministry of Lands, Housing, Urban Development.
Why can't you
municipality.
lead us to the annex, Chair?
The annexure is one
Then
on
give us the page. Is it 2.1, 2.2?
no, 2, it's 2, the annex,
Where number 2?
yes.
Is parking fees automated or it's also cash?
No, it's automated, we have the
It's
POS.
automated?
Yes. So we are being asked to show the parking slots, which was 195 parking slots.
So, for example, if it is Biashara Street, how much did you collect out for Biashara Street? I thought when you provide the schedule, you must also indicate the revenue to total to the 17 million.
The question.
Auditor General, are we asking for something you didn't ask for?
Chair, you are very right, because when they're providing the schedule, we need to know how much they're charging per slot, so that at the end of it all, it totals to the 17 million. Thank you.
So if it's automated, that's just something, a click of the button. And you say, Kilunjia Street, we have 8 parking slots, we generated 200,000, simple as that, and we proceed. Because if you don't provide that, then it lends credence to the assertion that you are collecting and pocketing. Governor, this is a simple thing. You've collected 17 million, there show us where it came from. If you can't show us where it came from, then we imagine that maybe you collected 50 million and reported 17.
Okay. Agreed, Chair. If you look at that schedule which was being talked about, it shows the number of parking slots, the size, and the streets where they are.
But does that tell us anything?
Yeah.
One slot can accommodate 2 cars, isn't it? In a day, or 3 cars.
In here, we needed to see how much it charged per car.
Yes, that's what the Auditor General asked.
So forth and so on.
That's what we are asking.
Yeah. So
the audit query was not on the number of parking slots. It was on the 17 million collected from the parking slots.
yeah.
So the response should have been from Kilunjia Street, we collected 500,000. From Biashara Street, 3,000 shillings. Because what we have here is just number of slots and the area they cover. No reference to any single cent collected from it.
And we know, Governor, we've been around Even you've been around since 2013. You know what happens in counties. Some of these towns and cities, you find a street is owned by, in some cities, MCAs own streets. They are the ones who collect parking. Or streets have been allocated to tough boys in the town. You might find in this city that Kenyatta Avenue maybe is generating less revenue than Kijabe Street. And maybe that's why you have chosen not to provide that information.
Chair, because the information is not provided, we are guided. I will personally keep a very close eye on this one.
This casts a lot of doubt on your receipt of revenue report, Governor, because if collections are not banked, and if collections are not supported by schedule, then we are not sure that it was only 512 million that was collected in Kitui in the financial year. Auditor General, please insist on that, and this matter remains unresolved, and in your audit, make sure that you get that accountability and visibility of collections for streets. And if they don't provide it, just report back, then we can recommend very, very strong sanctions against the county. Honorable members, may we proceed? I think we have dealt with all the issues that were in the receipt of revenue report. And the next matter, OAG, were variances between IFMIS and financial statements. Through their written responses, were we able to resolve that?
Chair, that is an ongoing reconciliation with the National Treasury.
But it was not captured here in the report. Clerks, did we make a recommendation on that?
No, it was marked as resolved by the OAG.
So how was it resolved, OAG, if it is ongoing? Because resolved means that they've gone in, they've cleaned up the data, and the financial statements and IFMIS tie. Was it resolved?
I really don't think it was resolved because I know it's an ongoing issue with the National Treasury.
Because the entity has not responded to it.
They did respond, but we found that it's work in progress.
So we keep this in view?
Yeah.
So this one, even though it was not part of a recommendation, but it is emerging that it has not been satisfactorily dealt with, keep it in view, Auditor General to report. Pending bills.
Thank you, Chair. The next issue is on pending accounts payables of 861,319,545. I want to confirm that we've been given a schedule, and these transactions, they relate to the financial year 2024-2025. Once we get the financial statements, we are going to audit. So currently...
Auditor, I think it would be neat just to read the finding. Just read it, then you can explain.
All right. And I read, pending accounts payables, it's under emphasis of matter. Annexes 2 and 4 to the financial statements on analysis of pending accounts payables reflect a balance of Kenya shillings 835,868,265 and Kenya shillings 25,451,280 for pending accounts payables, that is suppliers and other pending accounts payables respectively, totaling Kenya shillings 861,319,545, which were not settled as at 30th June 2024. Although management in the response indicated that they were unable to settle the bills during the year, since June disbursements totaling Kenya shillings 866 million was not received from the National Treasury, no evidence was provided to confirm that the bills were settled as a first charge in the subsequent year. Failure to settle bills during the year to which they relate distorts the financial statements and adversely affects the budgetary provisions for the subsequent year as they form the first charge. My opinion is not modified in respect of this matter. Thank you,
On
Chair.
pending accounts payables, the recommendation of the committee were pursuant to a resolution of the House on settling of pending bills. It's a fairly lengthy recommendation, so we will just take note of what is in writing. What action has the governor taken? Governor?
without reading, I can read, but
Your response is shorter than our recommendation, so just read.
yeah, the county executive of Kitui prepared a payment plan for the pending bills of amounting to 829,918,625 after adjusting for bills which had been paid and submitted the plan to the controller of budget. This plan was part of the attachment to the responses submitted to the Senate earlier. The county and I'm reading the report, the management status report. That's where I'm reading from, not the original response. So the second part there is the county executive has been implementing the payment plan for pending bills, which outline the payment proposal to clear outstanding bills by the end of this financial year, which is 2024-2025. The county government paid a total of 682,677,006 as at 30th June 2025, comprising of Kenya shillings 561,701, 531 development bills and 120,965,474 shillings for recurrent bills. The outstanding balance to date is 147,251, 619 and 3 shillings. The amount has been budgeted in the current budget, that is 2025-2026 financial year, and the principle of ensuring that pending bills are the first charge through our budget, particularly development budget, will be adhered to. And this is a huge improvement, Mr. Chairman, I'm sure you'll agree, even when you compare the 147 counties. We found pending bills of over 2.5 billion. And we have really, and courtesy, advice, and guidance from the Senate. Thank you.
I saw the chief officer trying to clap for the governor.
No, we don't clap in Parliament. We shall throw you out. Auditor General, is it a fact that only 147 million from that year remain unsettled?
Chair, we can only confirm once we get the financial statements and we audit the transactions for this particular year. Thank you.
So, Auditor, also, we have zero tolerance for outstanding statutory remittances. Zero tolerance. Unless we are talking of some delayed, maybe 1 month of delayed salaries. But if you are going to find that there are deductions made from employees, for example, here there's a total of 11 million as pending staff payables, we must have zero tolerance to county governments owing employees because statutory deductions have already been deducted and cannot be remitted, or even pension contributions. Now, Governor, out of the 2-point-something billion, were they mostly civil works and services, or there were also statutory contributions? I'm not seeing, I've gone through your schedule, I'm not seeing much from KRA. Have you sorted out your pensions?
Actually, all our pension obligations have been addressed. In other words, paid, we pay on time. But KRA, we had a case with them, and we've since agreed there's a balance of about 242 million, which we'll pay. And that is accruing from 2018, 2019.
Does it form part of the stock that has been reported here? Does it form part of the 829?
No, but I saw those figures. We had the figures. I don't know the accountant general. You have those figures which indicates we have resolved matters with KRI from, I think, was it 2.5 billion to now is 142 million. Because, you know, they do a lot of estimation over the years, but we engage them, and I think we have reached that point. Are you able to speak to that, Father?
Yes.
Yeah, can you do that? Can you get a microphone?
Governor, allow me to give directions.
Yeah.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, Chair. We had an issue of an assessment by KRA, which was amounting to a principal of about 1.4 billion. And we objected the assessment, and we were given an opportunity at the Tax Appeals Tribunal to go and resolve with KRA. And we have agreed, we have reconciled the assessment, and what is outstanding is 143 million, which we are about now to sign the agreement so that we can start settling.
Auditor General, how do we get visibility on those things without them having to explain? The 1.46 billion demand, what should it be treated as? Is it a contingent liability, or would it be, where would it be captured if someone was just looking at these financial statements? Where would be the disclosure?
It should be under the contingent liability.
Was it reported as such?
Chair, let me confirm.
The preparers of the financial statements are here. Could you point us to where you disclosed the 1.4 billion contingent liability?
Yeah, Accountant General, are you able to do that?
Because financial statements should speak for themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Proceed.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Chair. Chair, we had not disclosed the 2.5 billion, although it was an issue of under dispute.
What is your understanding of contingent liabilities?
A liability that can go either way. Whether you pay, you can be, once the issue is resolved, you can be, it can become a liability on your side, or it can be, okay, it can go without having to burden you with the liability because you have not been found to be liable.
Is there a requirement to disclose those kind of liabilities under IPSAS?
And other disclosures under the cash basis.
Are you the preparer of these financial statements? Who signed off these financial statements?
I have signed.
So, is that 1.4 billion a contingent liability worth disclosing?
Yes, it is.
Was it disclosed?
It wasn't disclosed.
So were your financial statements representative of the true state of affairs in Kitui? What's the ISPAC number? I think that you must know.
17969.
You're in good standing?
Yes.
If you do not disclose 1.4 billion, a potential liability facing the county, that is 10% of your total revenues, isn't it?
Yes.
You have a 13 billion budget. 10%.
10%.
Is that fair reporting of the state of affairs of the entity, Governor? If you are called upon to pay 1.4 billion, would you be able to offer any services in Kitui?
I agree, we will be in a lot of problems. But part of the reason why maybe it was not disclosed is because it was a matter which was under consideration by the tax tribunal.
But you've disclosed other matters here that are still active in court.
Yeah, I'm saying
you have disclosed 362 million as outstanding court cases. What about the matter that was still under discussion?
Yeah, I'm just saying Probably. I'm not committing myself why it was not disclosed, because I agree with you, it needs to be shown. But I think because it was...
Governor, don't excuse your officers. He's a member of the institute. He knows what IPSAS requires. He has done half the job by disclosing the court cases, but left out a very material figure of 1.4 billion. And I think as a professional, he understands what I'm talking about. And the question is why we should not report him to ISPAC for professional negligence.
Maybe, Chair, what he should be telling us is why he did not find over 1 billion Kenya shillings material enough to disclose. Because even if it's a matter that time and reviewed by a tribunal, what would have stopped you from disclosing and putting there an addendum that this matter is disputed, this figure is disputed? I mean, what was the explanation? Why did you not find it necessary to disclose?
I did not just omit it because it was not material, but because it was something that we had objected and we are following it up under the Tax Appeals Tribunal. But we reported the matters which are in court.
But you understand our concern?
Yeah, I understand.
As a CPA.
I understand.
Yeah, so that was an omission of very material disclosure.
I agree.
So it means that the 829 million was not representative of the full debt the county owed, because that KRA, which is very material, was out of it. So when you say you're remaining with a balance of 147, does it include the 143 due to KRA after the assessment?
I don't think it does.
Meaning you...
but I stand corrected.
It's almost 300 million outstanding.
But it isn't.
It doesn't include the 142 that we have to sign agreement with the KRA.
So it means your actual is about 290 million.
Yeah.
I also don't see anything, Lab Trust CPF, because I doubt there's any county that has resolved historical pension contributions. Is it the case, Governor, that in Kitui, the pension arrears from defunct municipalities and councils have been resolved in Kitui, and the balance is zero?
Yeah, that is the position, as I know it. We've received a number of trophies for being one of the counties which really have resolved matters with those pension funds.
So you can confirm.
But let me hear from the controller or accounts controller.
Yeah, because let's distinguish between historical and current.
Yeah,
there's a current from 2013 going onwards,
yeah.
But then the historical from the many entities that formed Kitui.
Yeah.
Is it your position that you owe Lab Trust, Lab Fund, CPF, whatever, nothing for those historical periods?
Yeah, let the controller of the...
who's the controller?
The controller who has just been speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we have reconciled our accounts with CPF. The only bit that we have not agreed on is the accrued interest on the arrears. But we have paid all the outstanding principal. That one we did, I think, in 2022. We have also paid the outstanding for Love Fund, which was accrued from 2013 to date.
Is there demand from these bodies of a particular interest amount that has been communicated to you?
Yeah, from Love Fund.
How much is it?
Okay, the last demand that they raised was about 60 million for the period from the defunct local authorities to date.
And what is your position on it? Shouldn't it be disclosed if it's a demand on the organization?
Yeah, we will be disclosing it in this financial year's report.
Surely a fisherman cannot teach you how to keep books of accounts. That's basic disclosure. Auditor General, you must also ask these questions. Because then the governor is proudly saying only 147 million is due, but there's a 142 million, there's a 60 million. So that's why we are telling the CEO not to clap.
So what are you planning to do with the 60 million? Because I think McWayne had a very innovative way of dealing with it. Maybe you can ask the governor. Do you intend to pay that 60 million? Do you intend to own it?
Yeah, if it is confirmed that we are owing, we will pay it. We will pay it. We believe in paying our debts, even if it's to the pension funds.
But it needs to be somewhere in your books.
I agree, Chair.
Otherwise, the governor who takes over after you, because you are not running again, it could be Governor Wambua. Governor Wambua, you will arrive and you'll find there's 1.4 billion KRA, 60 million LAP fund. Then you'll call this guy a thief because it was not disclosed. You see, that's a risk, Governor. So do the right thing so that even your successors have visibility on the true state of affairs.
I pray that should that happen and I appear before you, then you will take note that I was also pushing for the payment.
We shall have no mercy.
No, I think Senator Kajwang will be in government, so he will not be the chair of this committee.
Senator Sifuna might be the chair of this committee, from the look of things.
Chair, I don't intend to stay in the opposition too long. In 2 years' time, when the people of Kenya speak, you might find me in a very powerful office.
I hope not interior. You'll terrorize all of us. You should be given spots. Fine. I think the message here is proper disclosure. And Governor, I hope now you're starting to see the value of this conversation, because sometimes we see things that you may not be able to see from where you're sitting. But OAG, please ask those questions. You are the professionals in this space.
Chair, maybe just lastly.
Yes, Senator Marumu.
I'm seeing there are some bills that are payable and have not been paid that date back to 2021, 22.
Where are you, Chair? Where are you?
On that schedule?
There's a schedule. No. On the report, audit report. Yeah, there's a schedule at the back there. That there are some bills that are payable. Look at page 65. That date back in 2020, 2021. Like Mtoria agencies on page 65, the third line. 65 of the report. 65. Why haven't they been paid? Yet the bills are payable. And in the principle of FIFO, this should have been paid first before the bills of 2024. What is the challenge? I went page 65 on that schedule. There is an agency called Mtoria Agencies, 2020, 2021. Their bill is 90,000. It has not been paid up to now. Mtoria Agencies. Yes. We are on the Auditor General, on Account Executive of Kitui, page 65.
And unfortunately, we are looking at the combined report.
You are looking at?
We are not looking at the original.
Okay, but you can still answer. You can still answer because these are your documents.
Yeah.
On page 65, the third last line, Phyllis Samdo Traders, 2018-2019, their bill is 123,000. It is indicated as payable,
yeah,
but it has not been paid. So what are the reasons?
Let me ask my Minister for Finance to respond to that.
Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. We agree that we have small bills and most of them are accruing from consumables. Mainly, they are foodstuffs from the hospitals. And
Order, Chair. What do you mean small bills? Because 90,000 can be a lot of money to a small trader. Like on page 71, there is a bill for 2021-2022 or to Jack Dogs Oasis Limited. They are supposed to be paid 2.4 million. What do you mean a small bill?
Honorable Chair, I withdraw the word small, not to mean not to pay. But before these payments are done, it has got to go through a due process. Yes, it was agreed that it's payable. But when it comes to the controller or the control of the account or the accountant general, he has now to verify the documentation correctly. And some of these payments which have been written payable, they came from a task force which reported that they were payable. But from the task force report, we in Department of Finance, we have to confirm up to the details that these were
See, without interrupting you, I thought the task force was constituted to verify and tell the county executive that they're supposed to pay. Why do you not do the same work which you didn't do to necessitate you to put up a task force and you're doing the work again? So what was the mandate?
Honorable Chair, true from the report, we have really identified some areas where the report says they are payable, and when you go check with the system, because it is SIFMIS, you find that that payment, for example, it was paid, but this particular vendor, for example, did another business and delivered those statements. It happens in Kenya, and we have to verify. And Honorable Senator, it is good for us to verify. If we don't verify, the Office of the Auditor General again will be like, we colluded to pay that which had been paid.
So when I go to verify, because these traders must be paid, you are killing small businesses. Very many small businesses in Kitui are dying. They are closing shop because of this type of pending bills. The figures you gave us were quite impressive, Governor. But then when you delay payment from 2021 and these people took loans, there's need to be worried, Governor.
Yeah, I think the point is made. It's supposed to be FIFO, first in, first out. And we'll be looking at the report that the Auditor General will generate to confirm whether those, the ones you're calling small suppliers, have been sorted out. Actually, this thing of saying hospital supplies is going to be a big disaster, because you are going to FIF. And under FIF, the hospital suppliers should be paid directly from those funds. So if they are pending bills, hospital administrators are going to refuse to pay. And there'll be some suppliers who are going to suffer. I see that in a number of counties, but let's leave that to the OAG. We can move a bit faster on...
Can I just ask for clarification?
Senator Ngwe?
Because the CEO told us that the pending bill that as of now is around 147, then inclusive of the interest, the another 140 something. So is that calculation inclusive of this figure that I'm seeing here of matters that are in court, and you're saying that maybe payments shall be made when the case is concluded? Did you capture this in the figure that you gave? They're part of that? Yes. Okay.
I don't think your answer is factual, because contingent liabilities are separate from pending bills. So you cannot say yes.
Chair, there's those the legal and the legal matters were also captured in during the pending bills committee, so they are part of the total amount.
They can't be pending
And
bills
we
if
have
they're still in
paid,
court.
we have paid even some of them about 300 and something million. So they were part of all the pending bills which we received.
CEO, I ask that question is because, when you look at from page 116 of the OAG report, 118 to 120, the total is 362 million.
We are not on the same page.
I don't think so.
Ourselves, you are referring to the combined report, and you have gone back to the Auditor General's report, so we
No, it's a
another.
point of reference.
Yeah.
It's a point of reference. You must have it, and the senators are very correct to refer to it.
So the clarification I was seeking is whether those contingent liabilities are part of your computation for the outstanding pending bills.
Chief Officer, that's something I would answer, but I'm not in your position. Your earlier answer is misleading.
Can't see.
Let the minister answer, because it doesn't need to be. He doesn't need to look at the reference here, because the question is very clear. Whether any money is owed by somebody or who claims is owing something and they have gone to court, whether we are provided for that. Yes. Yeah. So let the minister respond to that.
Chair, I think there are two answers. There are matters in court which were concluded, and in governance wisdom, he had another committee to discuss the decree and the awards and the degrees, and that is what is now included in what we have reported. The matters which are pending in court, we not in the figures which are there, Honorable Senator.
So the 300 is litigation in progress. Once they are concluded, that's when they come to the accounts payables, isn't it? I think that would have been the simple answer.
So in that case, then, in totality, then, the money is owed would be in the upwards of 600 million?
Correct, because that is a potential liability.
Potential liability, but not a liability. Because if we treat every claim...
No, it is a liability. That's why it's called a contingent liability. That's why we have already discussed that they need to be disclosed. All the contingent liabilities must be disclosed for proper planning.
Yeah, but we can't add them onto confirmed liabilities and pending bills and say we owe all this.
The Chair, why I was saying that is because whereas what Governor is saying is true, it's also true that you cannot declare that it's a provision for bad debt because the matter is you live. So in your thinking, you are saying, okay, what has been confirmed is 300 million. The other people in court for another 362 million, which could go either way. So you can't make a provision either way. You can't say I'm budgeting for this or I'm entering this as bad debt.
Yeah, so we are in agreement. Honorable members, unresolved prior year matters is what we are dealing with. Non-compliance with 1/3 rule of basic salary, that has already been demonstrated. Some people are earning zero. Keep that in view, Auditor General. Non-compliance with law on ethnic diversity, I think we keep that in view. I know the Cohesion Committee has been doing an inquiry on that. Non-compliance with the law on fiscal responsibility. The Auditor General reports that you are at 38%, which the fiscal responsibility requires 35%. So you're not too far off the target. Your expenditure on development. I wanted to find out, and maybe your accountants could help you. What is this that you spent on? There's a note 9 on acquisition of assets. I think that's page 27, note 9 on acquisition of assets on your financial statements. And I can see construction and civil works, you spent 2 billion on that from 782 million the prior year. It was 2 billion. What is this that you did worth 1.something billion in Kitui? Could you give us a few examples? We did project A, 500 million, project B, 200 million, project C, 700 million. Because sometimes when you ask governors this question, you realize that the biggest investment they did was to buy a grader at 20 million. So in Kitui, just help us understand this 2 billion. What are some of the projects that you spent on? Because you have separated construction of roads, 391 million, construction of buildings, 312 million, purchase of vehicles, 123 million, research, studies, project preparation, design and supervision, 251 million. Those have been separated. So what is this thing that you spent 2 billion on in that year?
If I'm not having that report, but
I hope
we did.
They have it.
We had allocated the water ministry over 400 million shillings, and they have done about 19 samples.
For water, 400 million?
Yeah, we have also allocated sand dams, about 120 million, 3 per ward. That's about 120 million. The hospitals...
Per ward? 120 per ward?
Sand dams.
Okay.
Those are embankments across rivers so that you can retain both sand and water.
So it's about 120 million.
Yeah, about 120 million.
Mm-hmm.
In health, also there's been work which has been completed. For example, we had a mortuary in Mwingi, in Kitui, which have been completed. We have had a number of healthy facilities across the entire county, which we have done, and so forth and so on. And I'm saying this without looking at anything. And in each of the 10 ministries, there is development work which has been undertaken there.
Of course, the 3.5 billion has been broken down. What caught my attention was one line of 2 billion. So I just wanted to, because maybe you did a project worth 700 million. Chair Park, can you tell us, out of this 2 billion on construction and civil works, you as the assembly, what are some of the noticeable projects that have been done? I know your stadium is being fixed by the national government. Or maybe the senator is...
So maybe, Chair,
Senator, I'm asking for a position of innocence.
Yes.
Because I would like to...
That's true. To that. Then we have another project, we call it CLIDIP, Community Level Infrastructure Development Program, which is allocated perhaps the highest amount of money, 700 million plus. And that money is implemented in each ward, and our members of the County Assembly can confirm that. That one, you will not see it in a single huge project, but it is done all over and it has huge impact to our people. Also, we have a project water which we are doing with World Vision, which we have put in about 200 million plus, and which will be launching on the 11th. A 1.1 billion Kenya shillings project.
One single multi-year project?
Yeah, one project, not single year, multi-year.
Multi-year.
Yeah, and we are doing in partnership with
So the people of Kitui can see 2 billion injected in a year.
That one I can vouch for.
How much maybe goes to a ward, and how many wards are there?
We have 40 wards, and in each of the wards, we don't look at development like that, Because if you look at development from that perspective, even at the national government, if you say that development budget divided by 290, you will have taken this country through
So there's nothing like
to
what
the
fund,
river.
what projects? will
Yeah,
have them?
so, but on average, there has been an expenditure, although that is over the period since we got in, of more than 100 million per ward. You see projects, ECD classes, drifts, markets, many things, water projects and so forth.
Honorable Chair, do you agree? You are the ones who approve the budgets for the county government. The 2 billion is visible, verifiable.
Yes.
Maybe when you're doing your inquiry, those are some of the questions you should be asking.
Yes.
A breakdown of the 2 billion, because it's quite a lot of money if injected in a county, and assuming it was injected over 10 years, that is enough to ensure that people have access to water, people have access to good roads, and the other things that are required.
So Chair, allow me to say something about the apportioning of that budget, and that's why you had me asking about the KAI. You know, Chair, there is an injustice that is being administered on a number of counties in this country. On these projects that are initiated by the national government and implemented at the county level on a cost-share basis. So somebody comes up with a program called the KAIP, and then they say a county government spends X amount of money, the national government gives a shilling for a shilling to undertake the project. And then for whatever reason they decide it's going to be phased out, so you have phase 1, this number of counties, phase 2, this number of counties. So the county government of Kitui is not in the phase 1 of this KAIP. But then because they believed in it, I believe in it myself, so the assembly and the executive agree to do their portion. And they start the construction of the project. But the national government is yet, unless they have already done it, is yet to honor their side of the bargain. And yet there are counties that I know, and I don't want to mention here, Chair, that were given the initial share by the national government, and they have not even done the foundation, not laid the foundation stone for the projects. So, Chair, one of the things that you may want to do, so that we also talk value for money, that counties that have already used their funds for these national government projects, or the cost-shared projects, then the government share should follow immediately, so that we complete these projects and people start seeing value for their monies. Otherwise, we'll be seeing hundreds of millions of shillings spent on a project that is 50% done, and we cannot progress because the remaining balance must come from the national government. That would be important, Chair.
Yeah, I think the failure is also on the part of the governors. When they go to IBEC, they agree to some of these projects, which Governor Orengo sat here saying it doesn't make sense. Governor Makweni, I think, also said it doesn't make sense. Governor Nairobi said it doesn't make sense. You cannot do a one-size-fits approach when it comes to aggregation and industrialization because of different comparative advantages. So the Senate ends up passing the law.
Mr. Chairman and my Senator, we got the 250 from the national government in this year's budget. And you know, those budgets have not been uploaded by the National Treasury.
The money has finally come.
Yeah, it's in the budget now, this year. But we had to do everything ourselves, and the work is visible. About 250 million.
Okay, so again, Auditor General, please also ask those questions. We must finish within the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, we will ask you to return. We have a number of stalled projects, and Department of Health, storied maternity ward at Kitui County Referral Hospital at a contract sum of 242 million. What is the status of this project, Governor, without wasting a lot of time reading the finding of the Auditor General and your response?
Yeah, the status, Chairman, is the project, the problems, the contractor who was doing it was terminated. He went to court. He was awarded some costs, and the interest started accumulating, and we had to engage them to complete things with him so that we can continue with work. And we have indicated in our response here, we are going to allocate money this year, about 115, so that we can continue the project, because it's a very, very important project. And then we will finish next year, because it's a multi-year project. You can't do it at a go.
Has anything moved since 11th of September 2024?
They were in court, and matters had not been concluded.
No. The auditor says that an agreement, an out-of-court settlement was reached on 18th June, and the amount was paid on 24th June, but on 11th September, the project had stalled. So has anything happened since 11th of September 2024?
No, Mr. Chairman.
There's been, so you have not done a fresh contract?
No, but we have now gotten new estimates, and we are going to budget for the project.
What was the percentage completion as at the time of termination?
I think the percentage was, how much was it? I think it was not more than 30%, if I recall. Yeah? 15%. Yeah, people from here, they are saying about 15%.
About 15%?
Yeah.
So this is outstanding. We keep it in view?
Yeah. So want to hear if the completion was at 15%, what about the percentage of payment? What was it?
If you factor, one of the worst things and one of the lessons, I think, for Kitui and even other
payment is
counties,
about 40%, because it's about 100 million out of a contract sum of 242.
Yeah, but that includes a huge amount of the award. We are supposed to pay him award alone. Maybe can I bring in the solicitor, talk to this point, how much we are supposed to pay this person?
Governor, we have the numbers here.
Yeah.
In the report, the Auditor General has them.
Yeah, but that amount is not for work done. There is a huge amount relating to the award he got. And we had to negotiate the interest so that he doesn't charge it. Otherwise, it will be either 150 or 186. Yeah. Just award alone.
We have the figures. The award was 53 million. The award was 254 million.
Yeah.
But out of court settlement was 53 million.
Yes.
So 53 million plus the initial 51 million,
yes,
means 100 million was paid.
Yeah, but that does not represent work done.
Correct.
Or work done is just what was paid. These are the award. It's just the claims.
Was the award, was the out of court settlement on the basis of certified work, or there were also other consequential losses factored into the 53 million?
Yeah, let me bring in the solicitor. Solicitor, can you talk to this point, please?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. The 53 compensation was on the basis of the value of works done. What maybe I could request we confirm is the percentage of completion to date.
So there were no consequential losses built, because perhaps the 254 million is the one that had computed all the consequential losses, isn't it?
Yeah, the 254 had the consequential losses.
But when you came to 53, it was on the basis of certification.
Yeah.
So if 100 million has been certified and only 15% has been done, then there's a mismatch there.
Chair, what I would wish we confirm probably is the rate of completion, so that we may also not, so that we get it accurately. Thank you.
But you know, Solicitor, I don't think we can confirm that because the governor has already gone on record and said that from the last submissions, nothing has happened. So it is just where it was. It was 15%, it remains that. It can only go down, it cannot go up. It can only go down because of depreciations and all that.
So we allow the Auditor General because the audit is going. I think they had also asked that they keep this in view in the current audit, but Auditor do the percentage, the certification and payment, and if there's a big mismatch, then we can pronounce ourselves that the people who made these decisions must be held accountable. But then again, Governor, these are the things that, because we are asking, where is the 2 billion? Someone from Kitui will ask, this hospital is stalled. Where is that 2 billion? Leadership and politics is about perception. When they see the hospital stalled, but you're spending 2 billion elsewhere, there are people who reach the conclusion that you're doing nothing because of one stalled project. So I hope that even though you don't need re-election, you are conscious about that public perception.
I may need to be a candidate in 2027. So I'll still be cautious.
I think the governor wants to come to the Senate now that Governor Wambua is going to be the governor. So
the good
maybe
thing
he has
is
seen an opportunity.
He will never be a member of this committee. Yeah. Okay.
That matching chair is very important because, you and I and him, we were in Nandi. No, we were in Uasin Gishu. And the governor was insisting that they have done 75% of the stadium.
Correct.
But when they take you there,
there is nothing.
It's hardly 20%.
Yes.
And when people are talking about value for money, those are the things that people are talking about. Yeah. So it's important to get. So if you are paid 15%, then the works done should not be less than that 15%. That's important.
Okay, let's proceed. The X-ray building, completion of X-ray building. Governor, is this done or not?
Yeah, the X-ray building is done. CEO, with your permission, Chair, CEO Health is here. Let me talk to that.
So two things, you address the X-ray building and installation of the X-ray machine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Let me talk to, instead of reading the whole thing, there were 10 machines. 8 of them are installed. They were bought in 2017, 2018. Now the X-ray building was completed, and we are planning to install the machine before the end of September after we put a 3-phase power system.
Where were the 8 machines installed?
In 8 sub-county hospitals.
Different
locations, yeah.
We are talking of Kaui Hospital.
Yes, Kaui Hospital. So now that is what I've concluded with. So for the Kaui...
Is there an X-ray machine at Kaui Hospital?
Yes, there is.
Is it installed?
No, it is not installed.
When was it bought?
It was bought in 2018.
So from 2018 to date, that is 7 years.
Yes.
Why has it not been installed?
Several reasons. Let me go directly. Number one, the matter was picked by the ESCC, and it resulted in delaying of the implementation of the project. And then this machine was supplied without a house in place. So when we came in, we built a X-ray.
7 years. 7 years, my friend. Okay. Just have in mind that it is 7 years.
Yes.
It's not 7 months or 7 weeks. Continue with your story.
Yes. So to conclude, then we are planning to now we are going to pay. We have gotten a quotation from Kenya Power to put a 3-phase.
7 years to get 3-phase. What wrong did the people of Kaui do? Governor, for them to be subjected to this?
I think, you know, we came in 2022, we were just doing our third year, and you can see there was no building.
Yes.
Quite a number of the other machines
Still governor.
And we are going to do it by September.
A 2 million contract to improve a facility, 2 million, we all build here. That is a job that can be done in 3-4 months, 2 million.
Yeah.
You have an X-ray worth 70 million. Was that a single X-ray?
No.
Or that was for the
It was for the 10 of them, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
So why were the other 8 installed and the people of Kaui subjected to this charade?
Okay, out of the 10, when the 8 were bought, the houses were ready for installation. So when we came in, we constructed a house for there are 2 of them. In fact, there is Kaui and also Sekuru. And the Kanyangi, there were 3 of them. There were 7 of them, 8 houses, they were bought and they were installed. So the 3 didn't have houses. So we constructed the houses.
At what point is obsolescence of some of this equipment?
Pardon?
At what point do they become obsolete? After how many years?
7 years. After 7 years.
So you are going to install an obsolete equipment in Kaui.
What are you installing?
What wrong did they do to this government, Governor, that you are giving them an obsolete equipment after waiting 7 years, while others have had X-ray services?
Mr. Chairman, to be fair, we found they had been procured, they had not been installed, ESCC had seized the matter, and there were all sorts of delays. But we have constructed the building where we are going to install the X-ray machine, and there was no 3-phase electricity, and it requires 3-phase electricity. There was some arrangement with this German organization where they were supposed to support REREC so that they bring 3-phase. When we reviewed this matter last, I said we have to forget about that. We pay for the 3-phase ourselves, and then we install that machine there. Thank you, Chair.
Allow me. Governor, how much did we pay for the 3-phase? How much did this cost?
Phase is 1.3 million. That's a figure I was given.
1.3.
Yeah.
Now, you know, Chair, Kaui, so that we are in picture, is not a facility that is in some remote place. It is within arguably the fastest growing town in Kitui County. It's actually our COVID center. The last time I checked, Kaui Hospital is actually our COVID center. Now, this X-ray machine that was supplied alongside those other sub-county hospitals 7 years ago, Chief Officer of Health, you must be the one telling us that once a machine has outlived its span, 2 things happen. One, the consumables disappear from the market because of advanced technology, so you can't use it. And secondly, if you have been using it and you continue using it after its lifespan, it becomes a source of threat to the patients. So I'm wondering, why are you insisting on installing a machine that, in your own admission, is already obsolete? What value will it serve?
Chair. Yeah, CEO?
Yes.
That's true. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. To respond on that, Senator, this machine was not even installed
So we normally count in terms of radiation when the machine is being exposed. So it is still in the box.
I'm asking you, you listened to my first leg of the question about consumables. Will you be able to use this machine? Are the consumables still available in the market, or you start now doing improvisations of?
What's the CEO's? What's your profession?
Okay, my first degree is biochemistry. Then.
So you're saying as long as the machine is in the box, even if it took 50 years, it will not be obsolete?
Chair, can I?
No, it can become obsolete on other reasons. For
There's
example,
a difference between obsolescence and wear and tear.
Yes.
What you're describing is wear and tear. Obsolescence is about advancement in technology.
Technology, yes.
That the technology of 7 years ago is not what we have today. I think we need to be careful, because we might be foolish but not stupid. So I think this matter needs to be contextualized. And Governor, please, the next issue is about an oxygen plant. Again, same scenario. So Senator Cherargei, you may ask, but we need to tie these two, and we then demonstrate some of the failures that your administration is having. And it's not just about blaming the past. It's about taking leadership right now.
Unfortunately, when you come and find a problem and you now want to solve it, sometimes it takes time, particularly when the other agencies have gotten in. It's unfortunate these Kaui cases, and what we'll need to do from a management point of view now and leadership is assess that machine. If its lifespan is coming to an end, instead of installing it, we acquire another machine for Kaui, because Kaui Hospital is a very important hospital for Kitui. That's where matters COVID were being attended to, apart from KCRH. So we need that there. We need this there.
So members, let's look at the two Kauios, the X-ray and the oxygen plant machine together, because it seems to be having the same problem.
Go,
yes.
You know, X-ray is very critical. Governor, I find, and I don't agree with your first part of argument that when you find things, because we know government exists in perpetuity. That's the reason you are in office. Number two, I can see there were 10 X-ray machines of 70 million from Seguro all the way to Kawi Sub-County Hospital. In your response, you are saying the EACC picked this matter over irregularities, procurement or whatever. Is it not out of curiosity, was the irregularity picked by EACC only specifically for Kawi Sub-County Hospital or the entire of it? Number two, you have indicated that you are partnering with REREC. But that last part of your response, it looks like Kawi was not part of the partnership, because you have quoted that they needed 1.3 million for the upgrade. And you have gone ahead to say that by end of September 2025, the money will be paid, the county, the X-ray machine, by October 2025. So my question is, this money available now? Because we are 19, it's exactly 19, we are 10 days from September. Is this 1.3 available?
Well, the budgets of all county governments have not been uploaded into the new e-procurement system. But this is one of our priorities. Once they are uploaded, we will ensure three-phase electricity
Governor,
is secured.
I understand the entire part of budgeting, of doing that. Is this money in the budget?
Yes, I believe in the Ministry of Health, yes.
Yes, it is in the budget.
In the budget?
Yes, it is in the
So
budget.
if they have not been offloaded into the system, how can you mislead the committee by saying it will be paid by the end of September?
Don't you think that is lying under oath, Governor?
When we prepared this response, we did not know there would be the inordinate delay which has been experienced. Although we were among the very first counties to have our budgets cleared by controller of budget,
okay.
We are still waiting.
I get you. Now let's go back to my question. In this EACC matter, so that I see it ground, was it only the Kawi Sub-County Hospital X-ray machine, or was it among the other that you had purchased 70 million? And finally, this supply, you have indicated, just tie up with what I'm asking on the 70 million, this supply of computer, printer, and other connectivities accessories, were they supplied to the other hospitals, including Kawi?
Let the chief officer answer, but your first part of the question, I think the EACC inquiry was not limited to Kawi alone.
So then I will come back to where the chair was asking. Then, if in your response you say the rest have been fixed with, then what offense did the people of Kawi commit? Because if EACC had picked the entire thing, then why did the Kawi delay and the others have gotten the opportunity? Don't you think it is being
I think that was responded to. In the other places, there were buildings for housing
So
and
it is
three
not
machines.
EACC.
But in the three places,
yes,
that is Kanyangi, Sikuru, and Kawi, there were no buildings.
So it is not true. I agree, Governor, I've read your response. It is not true that it is not about EACC. It is because there was no building. True or false?
Yes, you're correct.
Then you don't,
EACC.
no, leave it there, Governor, and then you don't need to argue about EACC. Thank you, Chair. I sit ground.
Chair, the problem is governors just doing things for the sake of doing things. Why buy an X-ray machine for a facility where there is no building to install the machine? Why are you buying it? Why buy an X-ray machine for a facility that does not have the requisite electricity supply to run the machine? What exactly are you doing? You know, it's just some of those things. It's it's annoying.
I think, Governor, I know were you out of office then? I think.
It's not in office. Those persons.
But now I know why you are excited.
By somebody
no,
else.
I know why you are excited. Now we are not going that direction. Now I want to assist. There is what we call need assessment, the budgeting, the public participation. Before these machines were purchased, as my brother has said, they must have been reports. And that report triggered the procurement process. So among your officers, was there anybody that sat and then that pushed for this acquire of 70 million? Or you came and cleaned the house, everybody went home?
No, we had to clean the house.
So there is no one who
from
was
that perspective.
Through the chair, there is no one who sat in that procurement committee then and tendering process?
The ones who we have with us today, none of them sat.
That's
in there. Yeah.
This is very unfortunate, Chair, because I think people, sorry, before I sit back, I think this rent-seeking mindset, because I think at that time they cared about purchasing machines because maybe they wanted kickback. Because I thought by the time report came, Kawi should have shown there is no building. So their purchase of Kawi X-ray should have waited until the building is, and the need assessment that was there that triggered the procurement. So I agree with the EACC on this angle, where you are purchasing something for the sex so that you can make, and this is very dangerous, rent-seeking type of behavior.
You know, Chair, I was just going to be saying that, yes, it is true that there was a different person in office at the time of the purchase of these machines and other things, not just the machine, the machines and other things. And,
because you are crashing so much.
I was in Mwingi over the weekend, Chair,
Yes.
on Sunday. And I saw some trucks, parked some place that a governor thought they should buy trucks to transport animals to the market. And when they appeared before a committee of parliament, the argument was that she did not want the animals to lose weight as they walk to the next market. At a time that we don't have X-ray machines in hospitals or ambulances to take people to hospital.
The same government.
Governor, there is a point that you will just have to see now who is being asked questions about those decisions. It gets to a point that you have to call people by their names. Yeah, call people by their names. That former governor, Chair, and I have no apologies to make about this. That's a person who should never ever hold any public office of whatever nature, because it's a person who has sunk us. She sunk our county to levels unimaginable. How do you go buying trucks to ferry animals because you don't want them to get tired as they go to the market? What kind of thinking is that? How do you buy machines for a hospital where there is no electricity, there is no building to install the machine? Then 7 years down the line, you may have to make the hard decision to buy another machine. So that is money belonging to the county that has just gone into waste. That's what it is. So these people should be called out for who they are, Chair.
I think while you are prosecuting issues of Kitui, the President has issued an executive order establishing a multi-agency team on war against corruption. The multi-agency team shall be led by the executive and domiciled in the office of the Attorney General. Notwithstanding that Article 79 has clearly assigned the function of legislation to establish the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Now another multi-agency team has been set up where the EACC is just a member out of many others, and the chairperson is the executive office of the President. So I think you should say those things you are saying before that multi-agency team.
I will say a lot of things. I will say a lot of things, including then it would appear like the President has an appetite for setting up teams, to do jobs that are being done by other people. Chair, I saw yesterday you people also unveiled a team led by my friend Dr. Zani to help you achieve a certain agenda that you had set for yourselves. And I keep asking myself, if you have agreed to do something, so you just do it. Why do we need people to come and make sure that we do the things that we have agreed to do?
But you need to be cautious because those recommendations were made by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka.
Because he was co-chairing with the Parliament.
And Chair, the last time I checked on those recommendations, the implementation was supposed to be within 12 months. Outside of the 12 months, Kalonzo Musyoka is not a party to this.
Okay, I think sugar levels are going down now. And looking at the clock, we the members have been here. This is our second meeting of the day. So it's been a long day. Now, there are three projects here that everything, court case, EACC, they are not concluded. The auditor has asked us that they can keep these in view in the current audit. That is the maternity, which we have dealt with, the X-ray, the oxygen plant.
So the billing of the X-ray is complete?
It is not complete. It is not conclusive. It is outstanding. Does not matter what they say now. The fact is that it's not done.
Okay.
It is not value for money. And Auditor General also look out for lawfulness. You have brought out value for money, but was there lawfulness in the procurement and the decisions that were made? There is the issue of Kabati Slaughterhouse. Done or not done, Governor?
We are at the tail end of concluding that. It's in court.
From 2008.
Yes.
Even before
2008, even devolution was in there.
Is there an
and then
alternative slaughterhouse in that general
Oh,
area?
yeah, there are many actually.
Within that catchment, there are
They
alternatives.
may not be run by the county government, but there are others which are run by individuals.
Well,
But,
since
but
counties run,
we are
it's a
keen-
function of counties, abattoirs, ETCs.
Yeah.
So that's one of the functions of counties. So since 2008, what has the county provided as an alternative to livestock farmers?
Yeah,
Well,
there,
this matter has been
there are
outstanding.
other abattoirs. Some county-owned. Kitui town is not very near, and Matinyani and so forth and so on. But we are keen to actually have the matter in court concluded so that we can take possession of the building, because the person who constructed it in 2008 as he refused to give it, even after we paid him more money than the original contract sum, because he had gotten a court order. And it's been delayed. We've been to court about twice, and every time it's excuses. But I think solicitor can confirm the judge has said no more postponement. Yeah, thank you.
So what's your message to the people of that area?
The area, let them be
The
patient.
livestock farmers.
We are seized of the matter, and we trust sooner than later the court will give the final determination. Ourselves, we are ready if there is money which we are supposed to pay him, although we don't believe we should. We will pay him so that we can have the animals around that area slaughtered there.
Chair. What is the value of the project? And so far, how much have you spent?
I will ask maybe the solicitor, because I know it's been gone to court to tell. But the original value, you'll be surprised. These are some of the things. Inheriting is a big problem. It was originally 4 million. When we came in, we were given a bill of that 8 million to pay.
From 4?
Yeah, from 4 million. It was given by the former local authority. 2008 was how many years before devolution, which came in 2013? You can see. So there is a problem there.
So you eventually paid 6 million.
Yeah, we paid 6. Maybe solicitor can give more accurate
The
figures.
facts are here, unless there are different facts the solicitor has.
Yeah.
You paid 6 million on 26th of September 2023.
Yeah.
So is the land owned by the county?
Yeah.
And you paid the...
We are paid more than 6, and that's the reason why I'm
You are
asking.
paid the contract. It's a contractor who has employed security to secure the facility.
Yeah,
pursuant to court orders.
There's
or,
only one person who is in there, but in his claim, which he put into the court, it says 3.
It says 3?
Yeah, so he has computed costs based on that. So that's one of the things which we are disputing.
But there was a court ruling. The court made a ruling for 6 million, isn't it? Wasn't that final? Or the appeal?
And that's the reason why, with your permission, can we bring in the solicitor?
Yes,
to
solicitor.
illuminate the matter?
Is there an appeal on this matter? Or that was a final settlement.
Thank you, Chair. If I may respond to it, you are right. The final award was for 6 million, but you notice this was way back in 2016. So over the years, we have had interest accrued on it. So that's why the total claim now would go beyond the 6 million.
Can I? Chair, let me just paint this picture. You know, it's in my town that this abattoir. So, and it is in the town of that man seated there. So there, that NCR from my friend from
the chair,
Kitui. Yes,
the chair of PAC.
Yes. I've personally been seized of this matter. I have met at site with the solicitor and the MCR, the community, and the contractor. And me, as a way forward, Governor, I would request, you know, there are things that don't have to drag in court for so long. There are things that people can sit and agree on and append their signatures on an agreement and open that facility for use by the residents of that area. Governor, without belaboring this point, when I listened to that contractor, I got the feeling that perhaps not in your government, in the previous government, perhaps he was mishandled. Yeah? Suggestions, according to him, I cannot verify that. Suggestions that, it's okay, we can pay you, but if we pay you then, or you only get half of it, and then the rest, I believe, Governor, it's a matter that you personally can take on and sit down with the contractor and agree that, this project was due to the people of Kitui 17 years ago. To date, these people have not been getting good service. And the small slaughterhouses around there, they are not very hygienic. They are not, it's a danger actually to people's health. Agree with him, an out-of-court settlement, settle the matter, and let that facility. In fact, that facility, look at it, Governor, and I was looking at it 2 weeks ago. I had this event, and I took some animals there for slaughter. I was surprised. I paid almost 57,000 shillings to a private guy to slaughter some animals. And that is money that could have gone to the county. So the county is losing a lot of revenue by not having that facility running. And I believe it's not a matter that we should just leave to the courts to deal with. It's a matter that really, gentleman's agreement on this thing, and that deal is signed and we get it done.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we have invited this gentleman for meetings, and the solicitor can confirm a number of meetings have been held with him with a view to resolving it, and ourselves paying whatever needs to be paid. But the guy has been very difficult. Actually, the most difficult contractor we have dealt with. Of course, this issue of being asked to do this, we pay you, even what he has told the senator is not during my tenure. We don't do business like that. But it's a very, very difficult. Maybe when the senator is there and the Kaui MCA with Chairman Park, he talks softly. The guy is problem. But we are ready to resolve matters with him as earliest as possible.
Now, let me ask, a number of 3-4 issues here been cited as being in court. And the Auditor General also reports that you are yet to appoint a county attorney. Why is that so? When you have 300 million in terms of contingent liabilities in court, when you have the County Attorneys Act, Governor, why haven't you established or why haven't you appointed a county attorney? You keep referring to the solicitor, but the County Attorneys Act requires a county attorney who sits in cabinet.
Chairman, the solicitor is the principal assistant to the county attorney.
So who is the assistant?
He's been acting the solicitor because there is no deputy attorney position. But the procedure which is supposed to be followed where the governor constitutes a selection panel, the selection panel advertises, shortlists, interviews, makes a recommendation to the governor. Governor chooses one person to send to the county assembly, has been done. So I'm waiting for the county assembly to make a decision on the county secretary, county attorney, and the secretary through the county public service board.
You've never had a county attorney since the enactment of the law?
No, county attorney law is 2020. So I found it there.
So since 2020, Kitui has not had a county attorney.
My predecessor has had, I think, about 2. This one can't stay for one reason or another, and they go another one counts like that.
Do you
so
see
when I came, I
do you
didn't
see it
find
as a
any.
priority, considering
It is. That's the reason why I've taken it through the route I've taken it, and I'm sure sooner than later the county assembly will make a decision on
Deer Park, is that a matter that is before the assembly?
Yes, I can confirm that the county assembly received names, the designated members for the positions of the county attorney, the county secretary, and the secretary to the public service board.
And what are you doing with that?
The speaker actually committed them to the committee on appointments and gave them 21 days to come up with the findings and table before the house.
So hopefully by the end of the audit, this appointment will have been done.
Hopefully so.
So again, on that separate issue of county attorney, we can keep it in view pending the audit.
Maybe just,
Senator Chiragi?
Governor, I've seen, maybe I didn't get you, Governor, your solicitor, I've seen the matter is going back to court. Is it for assessment, number one? Number two, in your responses, you have paid 17,248,605. Why did you pay this before agreeing? Because on the last part, I can see you are going back to court in December 2025, 10th, to verification of accounts after the direction of Deputy Registrar. So why would you pay, yet you don't know the total cost that will be incurred from value of works, watchman wages, arbitration cost, accrued interest, and legal fees, all totaling to 17,248,605 and 40 cents. So I really want to know the strength of that payment. Number two is, and then what are you going to do in court? Yet you are yet to agree on the arbitration process. And finally, Chair, I have seen that the OAG says the slaughterhouse has not been handed over. So is it part of the arbitration engagement that you have? Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, last question. Yes, he has not handed over. He has said he will not hand over unless he's paid 38 million. That's what we were saying. For a project where the contract sum in 2008 was actually 3-point-something, not even 4 million. But it's true what you have said, Senator. Some 17 million has been paid, and I would like to invite the solicitor to explain that matter and what going back to the court will be all about.
Tell us what was the strength of this 17 million without an anthem, and I thought by the time arbitration award had been given, you now conclude including the handing over. What was the strength of paying this money?
Thank you. Through the chair, if I may, the payment of the 17 million is being paid as, maybe if I could start, we have been engaging this contractor from 2023. And while we were engaging him, he was in the process of enforcing this judgment. So since this is enforcement process, Chair, as you may know, arrest warrants are often obtained to get specific county officers, in this case the county secretary, under orders of mandamus to be arrested for not complying with orders of the court. So the directions we got from the court was that we have in our own assessment what we think is owing. So the 17 million is the award in respect of works, value of watchman wages, interests accrued from 2016, and including the legal fees and the costs of the arbitrator's award. Thank you, Chair.
So who's representing the county, by the way? Is it in-house attorneys or outsourced firm?
Thank you, Chair. We are represented by the firm of Muma Kanjama in that matter.
Senator Chiragi?
So, in short, what are you doing as in-house counsel? Or you only advise the governor?
Because the 3 million will balloon into huge amounts for the contractor, and
legal fees.
Muma Kanjama is also not cheap. That's why we are saying that this thing of county attorney needs to be resolved. In fact, I don't know how many advocates do you have within your complement?
We have 3, Chair.
3. And as per the staff establishment, how many should be should we have?
7.
So, Governor, because you are not strained on wage bill. You are at 38%. Nothing stops you from engaging competent people that will reduce on your exposure, reduce also on your external legal costs.
Great, Chair. Once we have the county attorney, we'll look at the others, but we keep our eyes also on the wage bill and the totality of the work we have to deliver to the people of Kitui as well.
Yeah, and whatever you are spending on outside services.
Whatever we are spending and whether it's value for money.
Yes. Senator
Chair, I don't agree with the position of the governor, because if there are 3 in-house counsel, unless Kitui is being sued by everybody, including the SATA, because if the 3, unless maybe we need chair so that we are fair to the people of Kitui, it cannot be you need 7 people, you have 3 in office at the moment. So does it mean there are many court cases facing Kitui until you have to wait number 7, and then they can now return the outsourced legal services? So the question should be, what are these 3 doing? Are they busy on TikTok or something like that? Because, Chair, I cannot allow that to go through, because we are talking about accountability and value for money. Unless government will tell us there were 100 cases, now because there are so many cases, these 3 are handling 50, maybe because we outsource this. We need a rationale. We cannot just say, Chair, go and hire 4 extra, yet we don't know, maybe there are no cases. Maybe this is the only case. So can the governor go on record through the solicitor, because he's here, to tell us these 3, what are they doing in office before we add the 4? And I know by the time this 17.2 million that have been paid, you have said it is the strength. So you have not answered, since you answered through the government, you have not given me, even if there was this an award that it was supposed to be enforced a degree that had been issued by the court of law. My only concern, by the time you are going back to the court to indicate that you have allowed the award and you are paying, I thought that matter should have ended there. So it means there is another matter again on top of this one. Because you have paid for value of work, you have paid for the watchman watches, you have paid for arbitration costs, you have paid for the accrued interest, you have paid legal fees. I find this fishy.
But the entire amount was 38 million.
So why did
I think you didn't mention it.
Governor, then why did the court allow you to pay 17.2 as opposed to 38?
I think the solicitor should have said that.
Yeah, let him come and...
They told us to show goodwill, then let's pay some portion.
Now it means...
So that was a court directive, actually. But let the solicitor, is a lawyer.
Governor, so before we go to the solicitor, which means the real award to this contractor is 38 million.
No, it was some amount which drew interest and so forth and so on.
And then how did you arrive to pay 17.2 million?
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm saying let's bring the solicitor.
As he comes in, before he comes in, answer me on the question of you having 3 people on the county attorney department.
Yeah.
Are there many cases? Is Kitui being sued by everybody?
There are cases, but they don't have the level of experience where they will come to court and face
some the governor out of order. The County Attorney Act, and I'm the one who midwife that law, including Senator Dulu. Before you hire somebody, there were requirements. Unless governor is telling us the 3 advocates who are hired are unqualified, because he's saying they cannot go to court. It means from the first instance they were not qualified. Does it mean they are not qualified?
No, some cases, not all. They do represent us from time to time. They do. And, the motion to hire the extra 4 came from the chair's direction.
Governor,
it was not from me.
Stop running away from this. We spent time 2 hours ago looking at your contingent liability register. You have 44 cases here with a potential liability of 362 million.
Correct.
That can be the justification. We have no visibility on the expenditure on external lawyers. That has not been made clear. In fact, I want the Auditor General to scrutinize the fees paid to legal firms.
Correct.
Because if it is not this county, it is a neighboring county. where we established that the county was being milked through legal fees. I think it was a neighboring county, if it is not this
Even
one.
my county, there were 35 million that had been.
Yeah, so let's just call it a neighboring county. It was established that legal fees was being used to milk the county. And to a great extent, there was collusion between the in-house advocates and the contractors out there for favorable awards so that money could get out of the county. I cannot direct you to hire more. I have just asked you, what does your staff establishment say? And you have said it. And I've told you, you need to implement your staff establishment. And your contingent liability register is a fair justification. So I don't know why you're having a problem responding to Senator Cherargei.
Chair,
because Senator Cherargei is pushing me in the opposite direction where you had taken me, which I
are willing
I
to
don't
be pushed
have-
in any direction.
I'm not pushing anybody to any direction, including the governor. My only concern, it is on record and answered. The governor has gone on record and said there are some cases that cannot be handled by an in-house counsel, which are 3. But I'm telling him, any person who has been admitted as the advocate of the High Court of Kenya, they can represent county, including the 44 cases that you are talking about. Because at the end of the day, we don't want the county government of Kitui to pay for outsourcing of legal services as opposed as finishing Kapati, Abotua, or providing water in Kitui, or even medical services and roads. Because roads, medical services, and bursary are much more important as opposed to legal services. So my concern was with the governor, if you already have 3 and you need 7, show us the fact that the 3 are doing this much until there is extra work that you needed to outsource that came to your office for another outsourcing for another law firm. Because, Chair, I remember here in Nairobi, one of law firms is being owed almost 2 billion in legal fees. Nandi paid 35 million on legal fees. I think a number of counties have paid a lot of millions to legal fees, which we have found it is a strategy to siphon money from the entity to individuals that through the law firms because of the oath of confidentiality and secrecy in payments of client advocate privilege. So, Governor, I think on the 3 advocates, if they are not competent, just fire them.
Yeah, so it's obvious that Senator Cherargei has had lunch. He's very spirited. We've been here since morning.
No, Chair, I've only had tea. So
your energy levels are higher than ours.
But my levels are normally consistent.
Senator.
Chair, with all due respect to Senator Cherargei, this matter of outsourcing the service of lawyers, we have discussed at different levels. And I remember governors actually protesting against Senate stopping outsourcing, which is not also fair because we are losing a lot of money as counties for the purpose of outsourcing. It's not only Kitui. But I think if you have in-house lawyers, you have 3, they should be able to handle those matters. Yeah? And it's very clear that the requirement for one to hire lawyers is clear, that you are supposed to even employ a county attorney who has experience over 5 years. And I believe a lawyer who has 5 years experience should be able to represent matters of the county. They are not complex. It's issues of contract, issues of, payment, issues of HR. Those are not complex matters. So I think let us not spend a lot of time on this, but it's something that we need to do as a Senate. For one to hire a lawyer outside by the counties, there must be a justification so that that actually gives a limitation on how lawyers are outsourced by the county governments. Otherwise, we are losing a lot of money as counties for outsourcing the service of lawyers, which is very expensive for Kenyans. I thank you, Chair.
Now, members, we have spent a lot of time on these stalled projects. The root cause is the same thread of court cases, difficult contractors, lack of value for money, The Auditor General has advised in their notes that they could look at them in the substantive audit this year. And so we could allow that to be the case, so they remain unresolved for the OAG to report in the subsequent cycle. The livestock office block is the same thing, OAG? Construction of livestock office block. Was this non-completion, or this was just workmanship?
Chair, it was issue of some defects that were noted.
Okay. Governor, were the defects made good as observed by the Auditor General?
Yes, that's a report we have that were made good. I don't know whether the Auditor General did look at them afterwards, but we have somebody from Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, and the person talked to this one.
I think this one is very direct. The auditor is querying the inspection report done after the defects were rectified. Isn't there an expectation that there will be an additional inspection report, OAG?
Yes, Chair. The report was provided. However, when the auditors went to check on the facility, that is on 11th June, they found that the repairs were not up to BQ standards.
11th of June of this year?
Yes, Chair.
But there was an inspection report that that kind of cleared the defects.
Yes, there was an inspection report that was provided that the repairs had been done. But on going for physical verification, the cracks were there and it was not as per the BQ standards.
It's very difficult to discuss this in Nairobi. And these are the things that the county assembly ought to deal with. Because when it comes to cracks and paint peeling, we cannot say here in Nairobi that we are now satisfied that the cracks are not there and the paint is not peeling. So this one, County Assembly, please, as you look at the reports, this is one matter that you are referring to confirm that there was value for money on that. The snake pit at Mutomo Reptile Park. Again, OAG, is this incomplete or it's workmanship?
Chair, the issue was addressed.
The issue is?
On defects. The defects were rectified.
And the snakes are happy now?
I can't confirm whether they're happy, but on the issue of the defects, they were
They are the users of the facility. Governor, the snake pit, was it in Kitui where a snake dropped from the air? That was Makueni.
I have had a story like that. I'm not sure it was Kitui, but I had a story something like that.
You know, they are flying. They are known in Amazon. They are not flying snakes. I don't know whether they are in Kitui, but they are snakes who fly. It is they don't fly per se. This is how they wriggle up there. But I've listened to that story. Is it a fox?
It was not flying. It was flown.
It was flown.
Yeah, it was being controlled.
How eagles are kill snakes. That's what they do.
Okay.
So they will take it, go up there, and then release it.
Oh, and then release it. That's how they kill their prey. But in Amazon, you find flying snakes. Yeah.
So anything outstanding on this, on the snake pit at Mutomo Reptile Park? 3.2 million. This is a revenue generating venture?
Yes.
So there's some revenue from it. If you look at the ROR, we'll be able to see some revenue coming from Mutomo Reptile Park.
Well, very little, but we are launching the Kitui tourism circuit on 27th, and I think it is one of the attractions which visitors will be visiting, even children, and we expect more revenue from the place.
So even if it's little, it should reflect in your ROR. Is there any collection, receipt of revenue?
Not yet, Chair.
So people go in for free?
No. The structure just been finished, and we have not started charging.
But the payment voucher was 30th May 2024, meaning that it was concluded 1 year ago.
Here there were other structures which were required to be on the side for us to charge the revenue, the fees.
Okay, so we should expect to see some monies coming from this in this financial year.
No, he said that there are some structures that are supposed to be at the side. Are they budgeted for in this financial year?
Yeah, the structure now ready.
Or they are ready?
Yeah, they are ready.
Okay, and unless there's any other observation, sample and civil works at Chia River. Auditor General, was it also workmanship
Yes.
or value or completion?
The defects were rectified. The only issue that is remaining is securing the place, the area. That is fencing.
So fencing has not been done?
Not yet.
Governor, I thought that's a very...
Yeah, the ministry, that is Ministry of Water, has budgeted for the fencing during this financial year. And it will be done together with the solar.
I can see you, through the chair, I can see you have proposed to fence in 2025-2026 financial year. So my question is, through the chair, so if somebody steals solar panels now, what will you be fencing? What is the remedy at the moment?
Governor?
You are not on record.
There is some guards which have been employed.
Or the county
to
enforcement?
guard. Yeah.
Okay, that's better. Okay, Chair.
Governor?
Yeah.
We are through, but there's only one small thing that I don't know if you've addressed on the oxygen plant machine.
Yeah.
We are told there's a limb of that query that the machine is stored in an unsecured storage space outside, exposing it to risk of physical deterioration due to adverse weather conditions. When the auditors come to the ground, would they find it now you've secured it in a better manner so that as we wait for the court case to end, it can still be in use?
Yes, Senator, CEO Medical, can you respond to that? Please. With the permission of the chair.
CEO Medical.
The question is, the oxygen machine, whose matters have not been resolved. The audit indicated it was stored in a manner which is not appropriate. Have you taken an action to ensure it's well stored? CEO Medical.
Through the chair, yeah, we have taken the matter, we have covered it, the machine, and we have covered it with the polyethylene, black polyethylene paper. Yes.
Is that okay, auditor? Is that what you expected?
Chair, I think this issue is a bit complicated because that machine, it's like it doesn't belong to the county. So...
Yes, Senator.
Chair, I think as the CEO don't give us a very casual responses. You can't say you have covered it with a black paper. I mean, is that how you secure things in Kitui, really? I mean, surely there must be. You know, the question that is an audit query runs to the core of the procurement of that machine, right, of the plant. Is it your machine, or is it not your machine? Let's begin from there. Is it your plant, or is it not your plant?
No, it is not our machine. but it is covered. The answer, the question was whether it is covered. So the machine is covered.
You asked whether you have secured it properly against the elements. They're saying you have bought a black polythene paper, So,
yes.
so, Chair, I think the question that we should be asking ourselves, and it forms part of the query. So, what is the status? What is the status in terms of the production of oxygen within the biggest referral facility in our county? Where are we getting the oxygen from?
Okay, the chair can respond to that one. At the Kitui County Referral Hospital, we have made sure that we have enough production of oxygen. Already we have a plant which was put in place in a partnership with AMREF, and recently the national government delivered a tank of 8,000 liters of oxygen. So we have the two of them. When we are servicing the main plant, we usually connect the tank, so we are well secured in terms of the oxygen.
Okay, now the chair is back. I would yield back to you. We can go back to 7 other non-compliance, which include 7.1, non-compliance with the deductions and remittance of statutory dues.
Okay. Earlier on, when you were looking at your pending bills register, we didn't see, you indicated that you didn't list any outstanding statutory deductions. Now, you talked of 1.4 billion demand from KRA. Does it include this 6.6 million that has been cited by the Auditor General? Governor.
Yeah. What the Auditor General has flagged is 6 million, not auditor. I mean, KRA is 1.4, which they flagged, but through the tribunal process, we have ended up with 142.
And it was pay.
143.
It was pay as you earn.
No, it was on all sorts of things.
Withholding tax.
Yeah, all sorts of things. Including, say, officers and vehicles, and through these benefits framework of taxation, there were quite a number. But it was not pay as you earn. Pay as you earn, there's this amount I see here.
Yeah, so then why would we have this 6.6 million outstanding as pay as you earn?
For 2021. Maybe Accountant General, can you talk to that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the amount flagged there was just a component of the assessment.
So the 142 million that has been agreed on, out of that, how much is pay as you earn?
Okay, I cannot give the exact figures at the moment, but I can maybe analyze and maybe submit a report.
OAG, will that be useful for you to confirm whether this amount has been addressed and settled?
Yes, I just wanted to confirm from my system, but maybe we can always work with them so that we give an updated report on that.
Yeah, so keep this in view, but also the issue of statutory remittances. The governor says that they've paid everything, and it would be good to finally have a county that you can congratulate, because almost all other counties have a problem in this area. But we will not congratulate you without verification by the Office of the Auditor General. Lack of county attorney, we have discussed. Late submission of climate change financial statements. Have these now been prepared? The climate change financial statements?
Yes, Chair. They were prepared and even audited, and an unqualified opinion provided.
Okay, so this is where the monies for FLOCA and counterpart funding goes to. This is a county climate change fund.
Yes, Chair.
And I think these have been going, Clerk, can you confirm? These reports have been going to the Public Investment Committee?
I'll check. I need to check that.
Yeah, because all the funds, because the Climate Change Act establishes a climate change fund where you're contributing to, is it 2%? Yeah. And then that's where the FLOCA money also comes in. Yeah. Fine. So this one, we will ask the Public Investments Committee to have a look at it. Financial statements for Kitui Municipality. I think someone introduced themselves as a municipal manager in this delegation. Was there a municipal manager? Why did you fail to submit financial statements for Kitui Municipality? From 2019 to 2024, with an approved budget of 192 million and expenditure of 151 million, without financial statements.
Thank you, Chair. From our response, we had no independent bank accounts, but currently we have opened the account through the approval of the CCM. We were given the authority to open bank account, and as for today, we have both recurrent and also development accounts. So this financial year, we are going to give a complete financial statement. That is matter which is sorted out.
So there is no financial statement at all so far?
It was reported in combination with the executive statements, so it was not independent.
But Governor, you know the provisions of the Urban Areas and Cities Act. There's a reason for setting that kind of autonomy for municipalities, for towns and cities. Who is frustrating the implementation of the Act?
No more frustration.
You have frustrated them enough.
As you have heard from the municipal manager, they now have an account. They are going to do it alone. They have a board. They have a charter. And all those, the charter I gave them, and we are not frustrating anymore. And as requested by Office of the Auditor General and SNS, we are going to have the accounts separate from the county executive. Both the Kitui Municipal Accounts, Municipal Board, and also the Mwingi Municipal Board.
Let me just ask the same question, Chair, again. Governor, is Kitui Municipality functioning with the management and the board? Are they collecting levies in the town? Because if they don't have an account, then it means they are not collecting any levies. The county executive is collecting on their behalf. So if you are saying the board is going to start working when? Because now we are in July, we are in August of this financial year. When are they going to start functioning, to start collecting revenue and getting some money from the CRF account to the account of the municipality, and so that they can run their functions? When are they going to start doing that?
Yeah, effective this financial year, and as I said earlier, monies for all the 47 counties have not been put in the CRF because of the e-procurement processes which are being finalized by the National Treasury. So effective this financial year, they have opened an account, they have a board, they have a management. Actually, the municipal manager is ahead of the management side. Of course, the board is there as well. And they will be collecting, going forward, revenue. I don't know, Minister of Finance, can you confirm? Because there are certain things which the PFM Act gives power to the Minister of Finance. But I know in the charter, they are supposed to.
Yeah, Chair, I want to confirm that they are now autonomous, and the beginning this year they will be collecting.
As for order, Chair, beginning this year, you know, the year began in July 1. So if they have not, then it means then the board has not been operationalized. They are supposed to have started collecting the money this financial year, not they will be collecting, because we are on the financial year.
I agree. All I'm saying is the operationalization, you know, there is collect, they didn't have accounts, the accounts now they are ready. So that is, it was a process and we have finalized the process. So I think I'm talking of votes, which we had thought of beginning of the year, but even after the year ended, we had to do a couple of things which we have done. And I'm saying...
Maybe I can ask that lady that question. Is the Kitui Municipality Board and the Kitui Municipality operational? Has it been operationalized?
Through the chair, that is true. We collect revenue, although we are using the POS machine that reads together the executive. And now I've said that we already have an account for the development and also recurrent. So we are going to operate fully, but we have been operating because we have been doing projects. We've been...
your senator speaks very good English. He's a scribe. And I thought people from Kitui can express themselves very well, as clear as their senator. Just talk to us in English.
Maybe on accountability they are not fluent.
No. You can't say that about my people.
It's strategic.
You can't say that. I think the question, Governor, is very simple. That you have a municipality called Kitui. And it's a yes or no answer. Is it fully operational or is it not? Because, you know, I hear Waziri saying they did not have an account, now they have an account. The structures are not there, now the structures are there. To create the impression that the operations have not yet started. They have not started collecting and depositing in their accounts. What is holding you back? If all the structures are in place, what is holding you back? Or have you already rolled out? That's a question, I guess.
From the county executive side, we have done that which we are supposed to do for them to be operational. We must agree, all of us, that some of these things are not events, they are processes. And if you have not been collecting revenue, and as the manager herself has indicated, they have started collecting, and now that they have an account, they have started putting there. What we will request the Minister for Finance, who is overall responsible, even when you have county entities established under the Cities and Urban Areas Act, to make sure he keeps a close tab and eye on the same. Of course, yeah.
You see, Governor, that's where the problem is. And I thought it is not your problem. The problem is there. Let me tell you the problem is. The problem is they have not been autonomous. For the longest time, they have been, working under the executive. From where I sit, it would appear like they don't feel confident enough to operate on their own. And so there will be no need for the minister to go back and keep tabs on them. They need to be told by this committee, by this parliament, by the Senate, that they have been given full autonomy. All the structures are in place. Go ye and work. Make your mistakes and learn from your mistakes. Because this thing of now telling the CS, again, the minister to go and check what they are doing, again, you are reducing their autonomy. Let them learn to fly. If they falter, then they will find their balance on the way.
Mr. Chairman, I agree with the senator, but we have given them autonomy. They are supposed to operate independently, but the responsibility the CCM finance in any county, including Kitui, has to oversee matters finance, that he must still keep and make sure things are going on well there. But he should not hold them back. He should not micromanage them. And I'm one person who will make sure that happens. Yeah, thank you.
They'll stop staying in the nest. You know, a small bird, when it is gets of age, you know, it's kicked by the mother to fly, and if you don't fly, then you land. That's what happens. So throw them, let them do what they have to do.
Yeah. So, Chair, you are saying the municipality is functional. How would we know it is functional? Are you doing meetings? When the auditor comes, would they see minutes of meetings by the board? Is it operational? Is it operating?
Yeah, the chair, that is true. We've been having our board, and they also usually have the quarterly meetings. We have minutes, we have reports. So it's operational, the board is operational.
Okay, OAG, you can then advise us on whether the financial statements have been prepared in accordance with the standards.
Chair, we shall be able to provide a response once after 30th of this month. Because that is when they're supposed to, after 31st, that is when they're supposed to bring the financial statements. Then after that, we can be able to audit the municipalities.
So we keep this in view, but emphasize to the governor that the Urban Areas and Cities Act is not a suggestion, it is law. So please make sure that we implement it as required. I think we are almost coming to an end. Irregular funding of national government functions. This has been an ongoing debate. 84 million on bursaries, 44 million for playgrounds, and 23 million for pit latrines and fences in primary and secondary schools. Governor?
Mr. Chairman, when we were here last, I think Senator Cherengai stood in for you, and he gave us very good advice. That's the reason why, as a governor, appreciates advice given by county governments and we implement, given to county governments, that we should have an agreement with the Ministry of Education. We have since had an agreement which we signed, and although the Ministry of Education hesitated a bit, they have also since signed.
Could we have a look at that agreement?
Yeah.
Which annexure is it?
You have annexed it. No, I'm asking, have you annexed it? Yeah, it was attached. I remember it was. And even infrastructure, I was very keen to see bursary covered, infrastructure covered. And let's not forget these playgrounds, that's where also our ECD children, even the ones attending VTC, sometimes they go to play in the primary schools. So we extend some support.
Let us see the intergovernmental agreement.
Yeah. Is there? Did you enclose? No, I'm not confused.
Then it makes you scan something. Looks like a soft copy.
It requires you to click on it.
To click to it.
To open it.
This one, you wanted us to click on it.
I'm asking the person who was detailed to do that. Did you touch? This one, Chairman, is there, I can assure you. I looked through it myself. And,
We'd love to see it, Governor.
Yeah, this is it, I'm asking.
Is it in our files?
Yeah, this is what I'm asking them. Did you attach? Because we looked at it and we said it should be attached. If you didn't, or you forgot, say so.
But even as we look for that agreement, Chair, Governor, why do you feel it is necessary to assist the national government in fencing secondary schools, primary schools, and yet there is CDF?
If you look at the number in Kitui, we have the highest number of primary schools in the Republic of Kenya. 1,400, over 1,400, the highest in the country, and 400 secondary schools. What we have done is not even 0.5%. It's just a few instances. And the secondary schools, I don't think we have fenced any. It's only primary schools where we have young children and a few. So we have not gone outside. And this happens when, during public participation, particularly that project I was referring to, community level infrastructure development project, the parents themselves and the community say, this is our priority. We want this school leveled. There was a child who almost broke their leg here. So in those instances, we'll do something, but it's not pervasive. It's not spending a lot of money.
Because I find it very difficult to understand why you do chain link fencing, goalposts, okay, blah, 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 pit latrines in various existing primary and secondary schools. I would understand for primary schools because sometimes our ECD classrooms are domiciled within the primary schools. But why you do latrines for secondary schools?
And let me